What if I told you centuries of hadith research wasn't about authenticating them, but about protecting the illusion of authenticity, no matter what? Research is supposed to investigate sources, study materials, and establish facts to reach new conclusions, or at least confirm previous findings. But the hadith scholars took the opposite approach. They started off with the notion that the hadith are authentic and true. So how do we prove this? They already had their conclusion. They just needed to reverse engineer methodologies, rules, and definitions designed specifically to reach that predetermined conclusion. See, by now they already had made hadith too big to fail, the core structure of their religion. If hadith failed, so did their hadith-based religion, leaving the Qur'an as the only authority, something they had worked on for centuries to sideline and give hadith the center stage. Here are a few examples of how they did this. Huge chronological gaps. Some narrators could not have met those they narrate from. Scholars compressed or overlapped generations to make the chain appear plausible, breaking the rule that narrators must verifiably meet each other in real time. Unknown and weak narrators. Sahih collections include narrators whose reliability is debated. Scholars included them anyway, bending the rules on verifying narrators. Contradictory reports. Conflicting hadith required harmonization. Scholars reinterpreted or harmonized reports, bending the principle that authentic hadith should stand on their own. Contradictions with the Qur'an. Many hadith clash with Quranic rulings. Scholars reinterpreted or explained them to preserve hadith, bending consistency rules. Too big to fail effect chains with minor weaknesses were tolerated to preserve the hadith corpus. Weak links retained, bending strict chain verification rules. Weak chains allowed through loopholes. Mursal hadiths skip a link between successor and companion, but were still accepted if the narrator was reliable. Partial chains accepted, bending the rule that chains must be fully connected. Fabricated content in circulation. Some widely quoted hadith are actually fabricated and including Hadith al-Qudsi, said to be divine revelation outside the Qur'an. Scholars sometimes preserve popular but inauthentic narrations, bending the rules against fabrications. Extremely rare hadith accepted as foundational. Despite being transmitted through a single chain, it became a cornerstone. Rarity was overlooked if the narrator was deemed reliable, bending the principle that repeated narration strengthens credibility. Contradictory content forcing reinterpretation. Different reports on key events, Prophet's farewell pilgrimage, were harmonized into a single narrative. Scholars reconciled contradictions to create a consistent story, bending the rule that content should remain intact. Every fix, every reinterpretation, every methodological loophole was done with the sole objective of rubber-stamping hadith to be authentic. The irony? The very so-called science that was supposed to filter out all the falsehood became the very catalyst that trapped all the impurities. Hadith were made so big, so protected, that any attempt to investigate them was interpreted as an attack on Islam itself. So yes, centuries of hadith research weren't about finding the truth. They were about preventing failure by hook or by crook and whatever it took. If you found this video informative, subscribe for more weekly videos like this. Thank you for watching.